Good evening, folks. It's Freddie Vasquez coming out real quick for News Flash. Hope everyone's having a good or had a good Thursday. Today was a pretty good day. Very nice day out. A lot better than yesterday, which was very hot. But today I wanted to just quickly go over some things, particularly with the mayoral election, I should say. Anthony Merante issuing a statement in regards to unions. So Anthony does support the unions. Let's talk about that. Good evening, I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Everybody's talking about. Thank you, ma'am. How you doing, folks? Good evening. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. I just want to come on real quick to talk about a couple things. Specifically, the mayoral campaign or election, I should say, between Mayor Mike Spano, the incumbent, and his challenger, councilman of the 6th District, Anthony Merante, who's not only running on the Republican line, but also the Restore term limit line. Pardon me as I get the marbles out. He issued a press release earlier today. I did share it on the page, and he's talking specifically about his support for union. I support our city of Yonkers union workers. Dear colleagues, it has come to my attention that there are false rumors being spread by some about where I stand when it comes to our city workforce union. Let me make this perfectly clear. I have always and will always support our unions, such as the CSEA 9169, CLSA, police officers, PBA, Police Benevolent Association, Local 628, firefighters, Local 456, Teamsters, YFT teachers, Local 704, service employees, and Local 1897 municipal employees. Your hard work and efforts on behalf of the city of Yonkers have not gone unnoticed and will not be forgotten. Over the past 5.5 years, I have had the opportunity to serve the 6th District as a council member. During those times, I have supported and voted for each contract extension brought to us by your bargaining units. I have also approved millions of dollars in funding to facilitate the replacement and innovation of the tools and equipment needed by yourselves to carry out your daily duties. Your safety and well-being has been and will always continue to be a priority in my administration as mayor. Please know that you have a partner in me, a strong ally, as we move forward to rebuilding the morale and the rest of our city. Our first hurdle, however, is on Election Day, November 7th, and I am asking you to put a stop to the nepotism and corruption that has plagued our city for far too long. Your actions on that day will determine the future of our city. I'm looking forward to working with you in rebuilding a great future for our families. I thank you in advance for your support on November 7th, and I look forward to working with you even closer starting January 1st, 2021. Sincerely, Anthony Merante. And I didn't even read that beforehand, so I was a bit, taken aback by the part where he speaks on nepotism and corruption. I thought he'd, mostly was going to be specifically about unions, but he says, he's asking you to put a stop to the nepotism and corruption. Anthony Merante has spoken about, the nepotism, the corruption. Now he's mentioning the word corruption. That may be the first time I might have heard that from Anthony Merante or coming out of his campaign. So who will you vote for this November? Mayor Mike Spano, the incumbent, who has been mayor of the city of Yonkers now for 3 terms, 12 years, looking to get another chance at it, a 4th term, to make it 16 years? Or will you vote for the challenger, Anthony Merante, 6th District Councilman, running on the Restore term limits line and the Republican line, but he wants you really to know him as the Restore term limits candidate. That's who he wants you to see him as, right? He's here for people of all parties, right? He's here to unite the city, he says, and just in any election here in the city, in Westchester County, state, as well as national elections, it's no longer about party. We have to see who the person is, the candidate. Look at their track record, their history. What are they going to do? Do you have faith that they can get it done? You know, do you get a good feel for them? It's very important. We have to stop worrying about voting strictly because they are a member of your party, right? That's, not the way we do things anymore. So who will you vote for, Anthony Merante or Mayor Mike Spano? Mayor Mike Spano was out today at an event over at in front of the Castle Royale, not at the Castle Royale, not inside the Castle Royale, which made some people upset. There was an event for an organization called Golden Senior Years Foundation. Let's see if I can get that up here. So this was held in the little parking lot area that was recently, you know, put there, built there in front of the Castle Royale. And it's an organization that just started this year, was founded this year. I'm imagining, just from what I was able to observe, it was created and started by individuals who are either owners of the Castle Royale or part owners or related to the people at the Castle Royale. So they were out there giving out shirts, hoodies. People won a bunch of hoodies and shirts. They were doing a raffle. The raffle was free. They didn't pay. All you had to do was sign your name or fill out your name and your phone number, some contact info, and then that gave you a raffle ticket to win one of the many shirts that they gave out, or the grand prize at the end, a 55-inch screen TV, which an elderly woman, a senior, actually won. I was just concerned how she was going to get that home because she came with the walker. So hopefully she was able to get a ride back to her house with it. I thought DJ Laz was related to the Spanos. I swear I really did. Well, that's okay, Carolyn, because currently I'm saying your name. I'm sure you don't want me to say your name. But Carolyn was out there. She was filming, she was videotaping. Carolyn, I think you had the mayor under a little pressure, right? I think they made you move your vehicle. You had an Anthony Merante sign on it. Very bold of you. You reminded me of Ron Matton, in that you had the like the Ron mobile, but you had the Anthony Merante mobile this time around, Carolyn. Spano tried to pull a shady move today. Oh, okay, giving away a free TV and other things. The event was for some incognito non-for-profit that was supposed to mix politics. That's not supposed to mix politics. They can lose their 501c3. The seniors called me very upset. I was told by the workers the man in charge was in City Hall. I asked who, and they said Vinny Spano. I have it in my Facebook Live. Who was paying the city employees and the police at the event? Were there city employees there? I didn't know if I saw, and I really didn't see any. I did see Nader Sage. I think Jose Alvarado showed up. The mayor was there, and he was there. I wasn't there to, that the entire time. I across the way right there at the school that we have. So that's how I saw it. That's how I knew about it. I wanted to go in there, but the roads were blocked. But yeah, there were police there closing off the streets. I would imagine that the nonprofit, that the Castle Royale, the people that own the Castle Royale, are the ones that are going to be getting the bill for the police department, for the police officers being there. And so if you have any concerns with that and you want to find out that information, one way to do that is to submit a FOIA request, right? A FOIA request. And I believe Mark Pelosi, I'm sorry if I say your name wrong, over at the Yonkers Ledger has created a system to make that easier to request documents and stuff via, a FOIA request for the city of Yonkers or with the city of Yonkers. So if you're interested in that, so that's who I would imagine, Carolyn. I don't know, but it was an event. It's supposed to be an event by the nonprofit, so it wouldn't be the city of Yonkers that would fund that. I mean, obviously they would pay up front and then they would have to be reimbursed, similar to the Mexican Independence Day Festival, unless maybe they won't have to pay the bill if they send a letter to the council requesting some legislation, right? Like the Mexican Chamber of Commerce did, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, check that out. When they had a $30,000 bill that was given to them after they did their Mexican Independence Festival, but they were under the impression that the police that were there were going to be for free, but they weren't. Surprise, surprise, But I don't know. They closed off Waverly Street there. I don't think they needed to do that. That was an inconvenience, I think, for me and other people who had, things going on in that area or who had to get home in that area. I know a lot of the seniors were upset. And Carolyn, you were upset. I mean, Carolyn, when I saw you, I could tell that you had just finished, involving yourself in something that was very intense, because I can see it in your face. You were fired up, you were a bit red, and you were so I don't know what happened. I know that some of the seniors had called you because they were upset. Again, this is or I would imagine it was going to be an event for seniors. It's the Golden Senior Years Foundation. However, there were people of all ages there, but it was very hot. There weren't any place to sit. So I think so a lot of seniors were upset about that, right, Carolyn? They were mad that they didn't have anywhere to sit. One woman did complain to me also. She said, "I just want to sit down" in Spanish. The posted signs all over the senior housing. It was supposed to be for seniors. Show my Facebook Live, the first one. Listen to the seniors. I will send it to your messenger now. Yeah, send it to my messenger now. I'm interested in that. But they were raffling off, stuff here. I don't know if you can hear the sound there. Let me see. There goes the mayor. Shout out to this woman here. I don't know if she wants to be really seen, but thank you, ma'am, for your comment. I appreciate it. I was standing there talking to this woman here to my left, and she's talking to me, and we're talking for a while just about what's going on and stuff. And then all of a sudden, she just stops and says, "What's your name?" And I said, "My name is Freddie." And she goes, "Oh, you're the guy everyone's talking about." I said, "Oh, are they?" She says, "Yeah." She goes, "But you're not crazy." I said, "No, I'm not crazy." She said, "You're not crazy." She goes, I said, "No." She goes, she even said that, and I appreciate this because a lot of people have said things to me, kind words to me, but I really appreciate this. She said, "I can sense that you have a good spirit." That's what she said. "You have a good spirit. You seem like you're a good person," just from our conversation that we were having before she, asked my name. We were just kind of talking. And then she recognized me, and it's like it was like the third time at that point. Someone had recognized me. Another woman had. Thank God, I have to follow all the stop signs, all the laws, and every rule, because people now recognize me. And I was stopping at a stop sign. I was going to make a right, and then I yielded for some people. And the woman said, "Thank you, thank you. I don't want to get hit and be on your show." So I said, "I'm not going to hit you. Don't worry." So I have to watch that. So I appreciate the people that see me. No, I'm not crazy, So that's why I say, get to know me. If you see me, have a conversation with me. She did say, don't fall into that. She said that's the devil's work, and it sure is. So I just wanted to point that out. Shout out to you. Thank you, ma'am, for the kind words. I appreciate you. And I always have to, acknowledge people when they say something to me, because, I don't feel like I'm any more special. You're just as special. So I want to shout you out and thank you for saying what you said. But yeah, they were posted all over the senior homes and stuff. So I think it was supposed to be inside, but they ended up having it outside where it was hot. There was nowhere to sit. A lot of the seniors had to wait in a long line. They were giving away hot food along with the raffle, but there was a long line and there were a lot of people of all ages. And Carolyn got into it with somebody inside the Castle Royale. So I want to check that out. Carolyn, I'm going to look that up for you now. Look it up now if you sent it there. Hopefully, it wasn't too crazy. But Carolyn is someone that, is a real advocate for the seniors. She truly is. And, I appreciate and respect her for that. You just sent it, just sent it to my Facebook Live. Okay. Well, I appreciate you for doing this, Facebook comments, messages. I don't know if I can get into my face. I don't even know where it's at. But I'll go to your page, Carolyn. If it's on there, I'll just do that. And we'll take a look. So what happened? Explain to me what happened there in the comments. I know you have the video up, but what happened? I'm going to go on your page. It's on your page. I see somebody dancing. Which page is it on? Is that the video where they're dancing? No. I don't see it on your page. Did I miss it? No. I don't see it on here. Stop corruption. Well, I'm very interested to see what happened here. So Carolyn is an advocate, a strong advocate for seniors. Yeah, tag me in it. I don't see the video. I see this video here. But when we get it, I'll post it up. Go to I don't have my phone with me. I'm sorry. I don't have it. It's my phone is somewhere, not on me, not anywhere near me. But I will try to look it up and see if I can find it here and show it. But what happened? So you went inside. Seniors were upset. They called you over there. So you weren't there initially, right, Carolyn? You came all the way over there because some of the seniors were upset. And then what happened? And send it to the Basement Politics, not Freddie Vasquez. It's got to be Basement Politics page. Otherwise, I won't see it there. So I'm not sure there. So tell me what happened. So I'll wait for you. I don't know how to do all this. I'm getting old. Oh no, I don't see it. Maybe you could just tag me in it. Tag Basement Politics, and I'll put it up. So you were very upset. I could see your face. You were upset, Carolyn. I've been tagged. Okay, let me see. I don't know why this is so difficult. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not. It's not on your page. I mean, wouldn't it just be on your page? I'm on your page. I don't know. I'll post it on my page. I don't know. I don't see me tagged on it. I don't know which. I have a lot of different pages, so I don't know which page you may be tagging. I don't see it. I don't see a tag. But anyway, I don't see a tag on there. I'm sorry. I don't know. Post it on my page. I don't have my phone. But that's what's going on there. The mayor was there. He didn't speak, and I think maybe because Carolyn, you were there, you were filming, and you're saying that 501c3s are not supposed to, be involved, with politics, political campaigns, or endorsing candidates. And having them at their events like this. But the native sage was there, Jose Alvarado, and that's an issue. Many times they take advantage of that, and these organizations will have them at their events, and then these are the organizations that get funding, right? So it's like they're kissing up to them, right? They're allowing them to come to their events, even though, like, Janai Wallace was there, right? And she has her foundation all the time that she has with politicians and stuff like that, and I guess, it's cool. You do an event here, you do an event there. That's great. You know what I'm saying? But it's always the same, individuals. And then, you don't spread, the opportunities. And it's not fair. And if you look at the people who get the money, constantly the same individuals. And, some of you may get some money, but then look at the people who get the big money. That's another issue. Like, you got other organizations there that are getting some money, but they're giving them a little bit of money just to kind of appease these organizations, right? And so when you're giving an organization so much support, like, and I'm not trying to knock the one today, I'm just using it as an example that's, already, with people who are already wealthy that own, type of businesses around here, land and every, like, how do other people, climb up, where's the upward mobility for other people? How do other people succeed and build their, wealth, right? And so that's why you have like this hoarding of opportunities, and that's not what's okay. I mean, with the average salary in the city of Yonkers, city employee salary is, in the high 80s, right? But the average salary for a city resident is only $35,000. Something is not right there. That doesn't make sense. Maybe we should make the city employees live in Yonkers, right? Because if they lived in Yonkers, then the average city employees, right, would probably make that much, right? Because not everybody's making $34,000 that are not working for the city, right? So you have people that don't work for the city that make 200,000, 100,000, or a lot more, right? But on average, they make $34,000. The resident here in the city of Yonkers. But then city employees on average make, $88,000 or something like that. And I think that's just crazy. And that doesn't make sense. So, they need to spread and that the opportunities and allow other people to come in with ideas, because some of these organizations have been getting money for a long time. And nothing has changed. Just like the elected officials, like nothing has changed. There's real no, impact. It's more based on politics, right? If you can throw an event that'll make certain people look good, and then you invite them and they can be there and they can have an opportunity to sell themselves to a specific group in the community. Like in this situation, there was more Hispanic young people than there were elderly people there. So, I mean, it's the golden senior years or the golden Latino years. You know what I'm saying? I mean, which one is it, right? Foundation. I mean, so there was a lot of Latinos, Hispanics there, families with kids. I recognized some of them. I said hello to some of them, and there were some elderly. And fortunately that it was an elderly woman that won the TV, right? Because it would have sucked if it was some, 30-year-old woman, that was there with her two kids that won the TV. You know what I mean? This is the golden senior years. You know what I mean? So, it's just a lot about selling, elected officials to people, gathering data harvesting. That's what is important these days. That's what Google does. That's what Facebook does. Right? It's all about harvesting data, collecting this information for petition season, for elections, to understand the demographics in certain areas, to be able to reach certain people and to sell them a specific candidate, right? That's what a lot of this is about. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there, right? Why would they be there? I mean, there are other opportunities for them to engage the seniors or engage the youth, and they're not there because it's not a big event. It's no DJ Laz, or DJ Jericho on the 1 and 2s. You know what I'm saying? There's no DJ. There's not no, TV and film and all this stuff, and there's no prizes being given away. It's just seniors, hanging out at a park, right? When you just pull up on them and say, hey, how you doing? I'm the mayor, or I'm a council member, right? Or I'm the county legislator. I just wanted to stop. I saw you guys playing chess or checkers at the park. I wanted to say hello, see how you were doing. If there's anything you need, reach out to my office, right? But it has to be a spectacular event where they have the cameras, where they have the tents and the DJs and the balloons, and they're giving out TVs. And it just, you get a TV and you get a TV and you get a TV, right? It's just, it's like kind of like Donald Trump when he was, shooting paper towels at Puerto Ricans during after the hurricane over there in Puerto Rico, right? Like, you get a paper towel and you get a paper towel, right? So, that's what it's about. It's under Freddie Vasquez. I'll check. You can't put it under basement politics. I'll check here. But yeah, so that's all I'm saying. Spread that opportunities with other people. There was almost $3 million in grant money that was given out, and and a lot of it, big chunks of it were given to certain organizations that just, what is the purpose? What impact does that have, especially with what's happening today? What the needs are in the community today. Right? How is that going to help? Many of them have been doing this for a while. And I just say this because we need change means a lot of things have to change, right? Not just the elected officials, but, even some of vendors and people that have been doing business with the city as well have to change. Attorneys have to change. You know what I'm saying? People like that have to change. And that's why a lot of these individuals are going to support, the status quo, because they know that then they're going to go. there's going to be audits done. There's going to be, you know, investigations probably done, and they're going to be looking into things. And I hear that, you know, Mayor Mike Spano, when he got into office, you know, he looked at the money that was given to organizations and then, you know, checked to see if they had used that money properly. And the ones that didn't, he made them give it back, I hear. So maybe that might happen too, right? So you got to make sure that we're using this money, you know, money. I'm sorry, Carolyn, I don't see it. I don't know why it's not coming up. Yeah, okay, guys, they're trying to get me with that again. No. No, I don't see it. I'm sorry. No. It's not on your page. I just wanted to put it on your page. So I mean, that's about it. I was just going to talk about that, the seniors. There was a senior that called me who was very sick. She called me all upset. She came out to try and attend a nice event, and it was a political ploy. That's why I was upset. Yeah, you were very upset. And, you know, Mayor Mike Spano was not going to talk on the microphone because, you know, you were there videotaping probably, and he's not supposed to do that. I just messaged you saying send it here. If you get that message, send it there. Or is that on? Oh, that's on Instagram. How do I get to my Facebook? I'm getting old. Facebook. Oh, Messenger. I'm sorry, Carolyn. I was looking at the wrong thing. I'm getting old. Pardon me. Pardon me. Pardon me. I'm trying to find this video that Carolyn has sent. Send here. I send it here. I just messaged you where I say send it there, and I'll post it. Those participating in these events contribute to the issue by accepting free offerings and neglecting those who could provide more substantial support. Instead of fostering independence, this perpetuates a cycle where individuals return for additional assistance. I agree, completely agree. The Democratic Party, for instance, provides some aid, but strategically keeps it at a level that sustains reliance. Absolutely. Yonkers politicians exploit the vote by targeting our seniors and communities of colors and manipulative tactics that, it doesn't show the rest. But absolutely, I totally agree. You know, that's what I believe welfare was. And I believe that welfare was, you know, very detrimental to Puerto Ricans specifically because Puerto Ricans, unlike other Hispanics, we were considered American citizens. So we were able to get, you know, especially back in them days, you know, now it's different now, you know, more people, you know, even if you're not a citizen can get certain services and benefits. But back when the Puerto Ricans were first coming here, you really had to be an American citizen to get welfare. And so many of them came here, you know, got on the system, you know, and that kind of kept them in a cycle of poverty, right? Because they just relied on that, you know, government assistance, you know, instead of educating themselves, you know, having their back to the wall, right? Because when you have your back to the wall, you're not giving anything. You know, you know, survival of the fit, right? Those that can survive are going to find a way, right? There's nobody that's going to be handing you anything, you know, and unfortunately, you know, we have this sense of entitlement. We feel like, oh, the government's supposed to give us this. The government's supposed to give you that. But that's not true. The government doesn't have to do anything. In fact, we really don't need a federal government. We really shouldn't have a federal government, but we do. And a federal government now acts more as a parent, right? Think of when you were young and you were a child and you were relying on your parents to clothe you, feed you, and house you, right? It was their rules. They had full control, right? You weren't independent. But when you managed to do it on your own, make your own way, pay for your own way, then you were able to have freedom, right? So that's the same concept here. So when we allow the federal government to give us everything, to dictate things, you know, we rely on it, we're dependent on it, we're going to be controlled by it. So, and that's ultimately what they want. And that's what universal basic income is all about, right? They're going to do a universal basic income. They've been doing these pilot programs in various cities. I believe they did it in Mount Vernon also, where they're just going to give you $1,000 or $2,000 just because you're breathing, right? And so, you know, some people will, you know, start to find ways to breathe more than once so they can collect extra, right? Or find ways to get, you know, that free money. And that's something that, you know, we would see in, people who were on assistance at times, the more kids you had, right, you would get more money. And sometimes people would get pregnant, they get more kids, or they would adopt kids, just to get the money from the foster care system. So when we set these things up like this, it's, you're going to see people abuse it in ways that's not, okay. And so that's why I'm not big on handouts and things like that. And I believe that you have to find your way. I know people, have an issue with those at times who say, you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Oh, well, people need help. You're right. There's people that need help, right? And you definitely could use support, but you have to kind of make it happen. For example, you want some support as a, organization, right? Well, you got to create the organization. You got to be out there and you got to really be putting the work, right? Not kissing ass to get the money, putting in the work, being out in the community, knowing the community. People know me, people see me, recognize me. I talk to people every day. I listen to what their, concerns are. I listen to just their life, at times, and I go around and I clean up stuff. I'm in the community. The point is that I know the community, and this is what you should expect of our elected officials. This is what they're getting paid for. This is their job, right? But we don't see them doing that. And instead, they just come to some fancy event where they can have an opportunity to take a few pictures, because now social media has it to where you can create whatever fantasy you want or narrative you want just by posing a few strategically placed pictures, right? Or take pictures you take strategically and you post them up, and it looks like you're doing the most amazing job in the world, when in reality, you got people shooting up in broad daylight in your district. You got, prostitution. You got homeless people sleeping outside, creating encampments over there in your district. But you're there for the Golden Senior Years Foundation event. Ain't that right, Jose? And that's not cool to me. It's not there anymore. This isn't available right now. I don't know. It's not letting me open it up. I'm not sure why. But anyway, yeah, so that's, that's just what I want to say, man. Let's be honest, be real, you know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest. Spread the opportunities, and, and let's not, do these things just to have, opportunities to sell yourself politically, to find a way to get more votes, or to get money, grant money, right? And nothing is really done. It's not right. I contacted Feeding Westchester about the food distributions yesterday that was plastered with Spano signs. These are supposed to be non-political, and you're talking about the Spano signs that are posted up there by the Castle Royale, and also by the food distribution that they do actually in the parking lot behind the old St. Carmel school where I'm at now. Yeah, and I see them there, doing that. And that's where I saw a woman, a bus driver with one of the mini buses, pull up. Her and her maitre d' or whatever got up out of there, and they were loading up the school bus with boxes. At least 2 boxes went in there, possibly more. I mean, is the bus company okay with this, where you're using the bus to go and get food, you know what I mean, at the food distribution, and then they're taking boxes of it, you know what I mean? I see a lot of people coming up there in nice cars. They'll pull up in the lot, and then they'll come and they'll take the big bags of onions and this, that, and the third. And so what's really going on there? Who is managing these food distributions, right? Who from Feeding Westchester is managing this? Or they're just having their truck come in, dropping off food to whoever they tell them to drop it off at whatever spot they tell them to do it, and then get up out of there, and they're good to go. They're getting their federal funding, right? They're getting their grant money, because they also got money from Yonkers. Why are they getting money from Yonkers? Feeding Westchester, right? They're getting money from Yonkers. Aren't they funded by federal government, state, Westchester County? People online under the impression that it was sponsored by Spano. Yes, so along where the line is, there's a gate fence, and they have a Spano. It just says Mike Spano. It doesn't say vote for Spano. I don't even think it says Mayor Spano. I think it just says Mike Spano. But the idea is that as you're waiting there in line and you're getting closer and closer, you pass the sign, and what it does is it's supposed to program people to think Mike Spano, right? So these individuals go out to vote, they're just thinking Mike Spano. They're not thinking Merante, right? And that's not okay. And Feeding Westchester, is a part of the game. They're a part of the game. They are a part of the game. If they truly wanted to help and are about, partnering up with community activists and advocates and leaders, they wouldn't be selective. They wouldn't only work with Tasha Diaz or, Corazon Pineda Isaac, right? They wouldn't be, limited to those individuals, and they wouldn't allow these individuals at their distribution because there's no need for them to be there. And then they politicize it, and they know this because they post it on their websites or on their Facebook page. So they can't act like they don't see it. So it's nonsense, don't act dumb, deaf, dumb, and blind, right? Ignorance is bliss. I don't see it, out of sight, out of mind, but it's there, and I'm sure you see it. I'm sure Feeding Westchester sees it, and it's not right at any time, not just during elections, but at any time that any elected officials there, because all they're doing is data harvesting. Feeding Westchester, you know what that means? They're collecting people's data. That's what they're doing. And now we have new people moving into the city of Yonkers, so that's new voters, right? If they're not registered, we got to get them registered, right? So that's what they're doing. That's the name of the game. That's the reason why they do it. Here, give them some free food. Here you go. Although I did ask a few people as they were leaving if they were going to vote for I just asked them who they were voting for. I didn't say it. And they said they weren't even voting. So many people are just going there to get free stuff and then up out of there. They don't care about the elections. While I'm not well versed in New York specific regulations, in many states engaging in vote buying is considered illegal and akin to bribery. Even if the mayor and other politicians aren't directly distributing money, providing consistent food, toys, clothing to certain individuals in anticipation of their votes in November may raise ethical concerns. Yeah, and that's, I think what they're talking about. That the fact that they have the signs there, they're making it seem as if it's a certain candidate, or they have a candidate there, right? Like a Tasha Diaz, she'll be there at the food distribution, doing selfies and video and how she's giving all this food away. But in reality, it's Feeding Westchester, and she don't ever mention Feeding Westchester. So why doesn't Feeding Westchester have an issue with that? She never congratulates the volunteers, and they've have complained, and they have given me information about it, right? In one video I posted, she's going around saying, "Hi, I'm Tasha Diaz. I'm just, this thanks to me and the mayor, this is why we're doing it." This is what she's saying. Hi. And she's going down the line, and then till she gets to one woman who says, "No, this is we, the pantry that brought this food here." And she goes, "Oh yeah, and thanks to you too, yeah, for the food." So she's telling everybody it's thanks to her and the mayor that the food is there to be distributed, when in reality, it was a food pantry that brought that food. And the food pantry person said, "No, you had nothing to do with it," as she's going down the line making this video. So that's a problem, right? She's lying to people. She's blatantly lying. And this is why I have a problem with our government, because some of it is too obvious. I get it. There's some politics stuff that has to go on, but there's no class in the way it's done here. There's no sophistication. There's no, keeping certain things, not so obvious, so blatant, so in your face. So I don't care what you got to say. We're going to do this anyway. I don't care if I lie, if I flip flop on a vote because I'm going to be made majority leader, and because I'm being kept as a council person, right? That's her payoff. She's from the hood. She don't need much. She's not a Sandy Anabi. Tasha Diaz don't need a Mercedes. She don't need real estate. She don't know about that, right? She's good in the fucking, building over there. You know what I'm saying? So her payoff is that I'm a councilwoman. I'm a majority leader. I got a title, and I could talk to however I want, and I get what I want. I got a little police control. So if I call them up, they're moving a little bit, right? I could get the building department to come over here and do this. You know what I'm saying? I can get this done. That is everything for her. She might as well be Bill Gates in her mind. It doesn't matter. So that's bribery, right? That's what that is when it comes to Tasha Diaz, because there's no way that she could do that on her own. There's no way that she would have gotten this far on her own if it wasn't for individuals that are connected, that are able to manipulate things, to pull strings, and make it happen. How do you think she got involved with that Feeding Westchester? Why do you think that guy from Florida, and I won't even say his name, always has a titty attack every time I mention him, or even the food distribution, right? He goes crazy, right? Why? If there's nothing going on, there's no reason for you to act up. Ignore it. I'm talking crap, right? But you make it obvious, right? Just like the way you guys do things. So that's a problem, and that's not okay because many people are fooled. Many people are led astray, bamboozled into thinking that these people are so amazing that they gave me some free food, right? Or, you know what? Let me keep voting them because I want to get this free food. I don't really care how amazing they are or how crappy they are. If they're the ones bringing this food, then they're the ones that must stay here. It's saving me money, right? Or I'm being hooked up. Tasha's letting me come in here, get me to make ribs free. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. By the way, McRibs coming back. So they get the top of the line stuff. They pick out the better meat, the better stuff, keep it for them. And I busted them and she tried to say, oh, I'm gonna go deliver it. That's not your job. You're getting paid as a council person. That's not your job to go around delivering it. Who said you could take the food from Feeding Westchester to deliver? And why are you, Tasha? Feeding Westchester doesn't have people to deliver. You're the only volunteer that can deliver, the majority leader of our council. Come on, I think not. I think not. I doubt you want to be delivering onions and stuff to people unless there's a payoff in it for you. And those are the elderly that when you take it over there by Lake Avenue, that or Edwards over there, the Father Finnegan or whatever that's called, that those two senior buildings that you got unlocked. Because I've seen your card there. I've seen you going up in there with your team to lock in those senior votes. Poor people don't know what's going on, but hey, that's how it is. So, it's not okay. It's not okay. Their behavior persists because they face no consequences. Exactly. That's what I mean. It's in your face because I could get away with it. I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it, and you can't do nothing about it. But we can. It's just that we don't. We have to stand up and we have to march, right? Like in January 6th, we have to march up there at City Hall, not be violent, right? But you have to hold signs up. You have to, be consistent, be in your face, challenge the elected officials, not aggressively, not violently, but when we see them in public, say, hey, why did you do this? So why did you pass that legislation? Or why are you ignoring this issue? We have to constantly challenge them in public. And I think that that's maybe more of something I'm going to start doing when I see them at parades, right? I'm not going to harass you. I'm going to say, hey, I want to ask you this. You want to walk away? Okay, cool. I'm not going to follow you or nothing like that. But you can give an interview to a pedophile, a man convicted of sexually abusing an underage girl, right? And I posted that not too long recently because I actually emailed that to Senator Cousins and Senator Mayer, Shelley Mayer. I sent them the documents on this guy. And I also emailed all the council members. And guess what? The council must have blocked my email because all the council members' email I sent got bumped back. It didn't go through, but Shelley Mayer and Senator Cousins went through. But I'm going to send it to you again anyway, council members, because you know about this guy and you got to do something about it. You can't let this guy walk around being the pedophile that he is, and you allow him to go into schools, you support him financially, you do interviews with him. Meanwhile, his victims are still here. The man's got more victims he never got arrested for. And he also had child porn in his phone. He really had child porn in his phone, okay? I have the Yonkers police report, yet there was no investigation. Nothing moved forward with that, all right? So I'm going to send you those documentation in court, including the court documents that I have. I don't think I posted that, showing what the his sentencing and stuff was. Okay, you guys should be ashamed of yourselves for associating with that guy when there's sex victims out here, and and you guys know that the mayor had an incident also, and you guys dare involve and engage yourself with that man, doing interviews with that man. Do you not have a sense of morals or integrity? The man's a little kid toucher, man. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, let's organize, Freddie. I'm ready. I'm just waiting for more people to come out. We're the people that's with it. I can't be by myself. But we have to really do it. I mean, somebody tried to create that fake rally. Remember that fake rally that they did, and they tried to blame me for it. They blamed this person for it, and nobody showed up. And the Yonkers Voice, Yonkers Newswire, and all those, the ones that are bought and paid for, all said, oh, look, it was nobody came out, blah, 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 but it was fake. This is what they do. It's like those emails that I get that they try to sell me stories, right? And get me to try to react a certain way. Right? Like the one they recently sent me about this crazy story, and I know who it was, and I'm playing. Okay, yeah, let's play. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna rob this dude. I'm gonna rob you, right? This is crazy, right? And it's still going with it, but I get it. It is what it is, and that's what they do, man. They play these crazy games, and then they try to make you look crazy. But like the woman that spoke to me today said, no, I'm not crazy, and neither are you folks who been through it, who have told me your stories. I believe you. And yes, we must organize and we must protest, but we have to come out. We have to actually come out and do it, and we have to unite. We have to be consistent with it, and we can't be afraid anymore. I mean, you can't be afraid to create change. Think of Martin Luther King. Imagine he was afraid. If he was afraid to march, he was afraid to do the boycotts, or Rosa Parks. Imagine if she was afraid to say, no, I'm not moving, right? Imagine if the people were afraid or too lazy not to walk instead of take the bus, and they say, you know what, no, I'm going to get on the bus, man. I ain't walking with you guys. I don't care if I have to sit in the back and get disrespected. At some point, we have to get up and we have to walk, and then we have to march, and we cannot be afraid. That's what they bank on. And if they do retaliate, there's going to be a lot of people to retaliate on. And so either they're not going to do it because of that, or they are going to do it. And it's going to look like it's all retaliation. Look at all these people that got retaliated on, right? So it's, we have to be unafraid. We have to be fearless. And I know it's easier said than done, but if you truly want change, then it has to be done, right? Bellamy's husband will be doing his agility test on Sunday for YPD. Oh, he didn't do it already? I thought he had done it already. We knew that was happening, and that's just the way, the things go. And, and it's unfortunate. And all I speak on, and again, I've had my things with the city council president, and, I'm trying to play nice because she's going to an event that my wife is doing it. And really, my wife is the reason why, because I love my wife so much, and I do anything for her, man, even things I don't want to do. Right. But out of respect, she has to understand, like, a lot of people will love that opportunity, and maybe you see more Hispanic and Blacks having that opportunity, but for far too long, many did not have that opportunity. And that has led to damaging results right here in Yonkers. People that, were not, called or were not promoted, right? Or were not, did not have an opportunity to, break the cycle of poverty because of that, or really exceed because of that. And so, it's not okay. And, it should be a personal, priority, mission of especially the first Black City Council president, and even Tasha Diaz, the minority leader, to really advocate for that, right? To really advocate for more opportunities for people, right? Who are not getting these opportunities, right? And that's just all I'm saying, and look, you do your thing, you rock, but, it's gotta let other people, also breathe too. Don't forget the fake Republican Nolan and Mike Breen, who are loyal to Spanum. I think one is worse than the other, right? Mike Breen is worse. Mike Breen doesn't care. Mike Breen, he doesn't care what you say. And, he's liked my post at times, I think there's even a fake Mike Breen page now. But, he said it, when there was, I hear a meeting had taken place with the Republicans. This was around the time of the district redistricting, of the city and stuff. And, a lot of Republicans were upset the way the new maps were drawn. And as Mike Breen walked into the meeting and stuff, people were upset with him, and they said, what happened or whatever. He's like, I don't care. I got what I wanted. And I hear what he wanted was to make sure that, he was trying to get Ron Mattin out of District 5 so he wouldn't run against him. And so again, it's all about him. It's self-service, not about the Republicans. So that's my point. All right, there. Doesn't matter about party, it's the person, right? And so, you have an opportunity to write in a candidate, right? That's true freedom. And, I hear Ronald Chute may be someone that, might be interested, or at least people would like to see have his name written in the write-in candidate spot, Lakeisha's husband will skip the qualified candidates who scored higher on the list than him. There will be more lawsuits for the city. Well, I hope not. I hope that's not the case. And I've spoken to people who that has happened to, and they're very upset. And, it's a great, it's unfortunate, but I appreciate the fact that I have so many people call me diverse people, because it shows that there's this common problem, right? That whether you're black, you're Hispanic, or you're white, man or woman, you have seen this and have gone through this and have dealt with this type of stuff where your name was next, you've been waiting forever, and then boom, you see somebody get in there that just got there, right? And they and boom, now they moved up because they know so and so, they're related to so and so, and that's happened so many times. And I think it's gotten to a point where it has really really disgusted people, because it's just too much. It's just too much, and it's so obvious, it's so blatant, and like they said, because there are no consequences. And so again, that's something that can be foiled to see what the scores were, and again, we must be the ones that hold them to their jobs. They're hold their feet to the fire. Make sure they're accountable. We have to do that. That's our job as the people. We ultimately are the check and the balance, right? And so we can't be lazy anymore, right? And this is the thing, we rely so much on other people to do that, right? Technically, the city council is supposed to be the checks and balance, but when they are compromised, there's no check and there's no balance. So it's up to us now, and so we have to come out, we have to be more vocal, and we have to be involved. That they say politics is not a spectator sport. If he doesn't show up on Sunday, we will know. If he doesn't show up on Sunday, we will know. Oh, okay. Lakeisha will get one of her 2 promises for term limit extension. She sold out the city. Is Judge Bellamy next? We'll be waiting. That's something that I mentioned, and that upset the city council president. That was why she said, I'm not, what she said, and I'm not going to become a judge. My husband's not going to become a police officer. But we obviously see that happening, and maybe it took a little longer than they intended it, or they were hoping for, because I mentioned it and I put it out there, and they kind of had to let that kind of die down a little bit, and then kind of do it in a way where maybe we're not paying attention, but we are, and we must always pay attention. And again, this is what I mean, and this is not to say that maybe he's not deserving of it. Yeah, I'm sure he's taking the test. He's got to do everything, but he got to make sure that he's not going to skip someone in the line. That he did it the right way, the proper way, like everyone else, and that there was no benefit there, or some favoritism, or some help there. Any kind of disadvantage to or advantage, I should say, not disadvantage. The other people had a disadvantage that he had there. Because again, people have reached out to me who have been waiting to become police officers, firemen, who have scored well on the exams, who have a good background coming in, with some military backgrounds, being I'm high-ranking officers in the military, right, and being even in the military police, and saying I have everything. Like, some of these guys ain't nothing, like, and it's true. There's people that have been put on, and I've been talking about this recently with certain individuals. I'm going to get at it soon, about certain individuals who have gotten hired, but specifically one of them who was recently hired as a police officer, and the background that he had, that makes you wonder, why would he be hired as a police officer? And this is just what I'm told, and I was told this by several people. But I'm not trying to go crazy and put people's names out there, but just to give an example of an individual who allegedly, by several sources, has had been arrested several times for assault, putting people in hospitals. I mean, beating people really bad, also having guns confiscated from home, and this is what several people are alleging, and why did this individual become a police officer with that type of a track record? It's an aggressive person, maybe a danger out there in the street. He has a gun, according to these individuals, he's beating people up bad, so they're going to the hospital, right? If he's had order protections on him. But I've heard that about another female who became a police officer or entered the academy very recently, who also had an aggressive background, an aggressive history of violence, right? Having orders of protections, beating up or fighting relatives, and having been arrested for it and having had order of protections for it yet. And still, they are the ones that are advancing to become police officers, while other people who don't have these things on their record, who have good records, have good experience, a good background, military knowledge, are being overlooked. That's a problem, because we want the best of the best for real, right? We want the best of the best. So that's definitely something that we need to keep our eyes, Moni, both Nolan and Breen's positions seem like a waste of tax dollars. Their positions are not powerful. They are not the problem. Yeah, no, they're not, I like James Nolan. I do. I don't know why, man. He always seemed like a good guy to me. I think he tries. I don't know everything, and I don't know maybe what some of you folks know. I could only judge him based on my experience. I'm not sure if Ruth Walters is, the answer. That's all I'm saying. I mean, if I had to choose one, I'm gonna just go with Nolan, because at least I know Nolan. I've dealt with him and I see him try to do certain things. He seems like he wants to do the right thing. I don't know. Maybe it's just act, and maybe I'm just naive and don't know any better. If we only saw change from this administration towards the most vulnerable population, it could be bearable. They don't change, and they are savages. They don't have hearts anymore, only for their own. God help us. It's a very strong words, Carolyn. And, it's just, it's a business. Ultimately, at the end of the day, whatever, you want to believe about politics and our government, it's a business. It is a business. Those that operate within it, those that survive, that last a very long time, truly operate like it is a business. They're smart about it. They know how to maneuver, how to build alliances. They know how to create, a strong circle around them, right? And they know how to, remain and sustain that control and that power. And they know how to utilize and leverage, opportunities and resources, and money in order to, continue that. And so it's a business. It is. It's not about individuals who want to go in and want to help the community and make it better for everybody and really want to see everybody doing good. And okay, we're going to do this. So this, these individuals could really do well here. We're going to build this for these folks. It's just not about that. Right. And, and we have to understand that. We have to realize what politics is truly about, and, why people, or have certain relationships, right? And we have to see who the players are, right? And we have to also accept that for the most part, right? It's going to be somewhat, that way, right? But we have to make sure that we at least, demand accountability, that we demand they address things, okay, you're going to be that way, but we need this fixed, or we need this in the community, or we need this for that. And if not, then we're going to be out here protesting in your face. We're going to be challenging you, and we're going to get you out of there. And we know we'll get the next person in that's probably the same like you, but at least maybe they'll know a little better and they'll give us a little more. So that's kind of what it's really about, right? And maybe one day we would find someone that's truly for the people of the city of Yonkers. I'm Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics Unfiltered. Carolyn, I'm sorry I didn't able to show your video. Have a beautiful night. I'm up out of here. Happy birthday to all the Libras out there. Libras. That's my cousin Erwin there. But I think we need to become more vocal. We need to get out there. And if you're ready to organize, email me. I'm with it all day long and every day. But you need an army. You need a lot of folks to come out, and people are truly fed up. People need to be educated also. A lot of people out there were just out there for the free TV and the free stuff that they were given. This is another problem too. We had a whole group of people that just really don't care. They're not interested. They hear something's free. Maybe I could win a TV. I'm going there, but ultimately I really don't care. And that's dangerous, because it is, many times those individuals that have an impact. And how? Because their ballots are the ones that are being used and manipulated, because they don't care. They don't know. They probably get called up. Hey, we got your ballot here. Do you want to just sign real quick? Okay. You know, remember, yeah, we were at the thing. Remember, yeah, the 55-inch TV. Yeah, okay, yeah, hey, yeah, see you, girl. Bye. All right, Tasha, dear. Have a good night.
I was raised in housing. I don't think you were. I want